It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
I ended up going out for a couple beers, watched a little bit of the basketball game.
You go out by yourself? Or?
No, I was able to connive someone. I would have never guessed in a million years you happen to have Bachelor weekend the same time.
It's crazy.
We could have painted the town like we used to.
We could have painted the basement.
Because
that's what I did.
And Kyle.
Would it be Hope Solo's family? Which I don't even know if she has anymore because she won't stop wailing on them in wild rage.
I mean, you did refer to her as a serial butthole picture taker.
But listen, I feel I've been vindicated by the evidence of that. There are multiple instances of that taking place. You want to set that camera up on a little tripod and go,
Here's my butthole.
Full moon?
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Melissa Vaughn, everybody.
That's in, for me, that discussion there, at the end of that intro.
The Hope Solo one?
Is in the pantheon, for me, for this podcast personally, of things I'm willing and happy to revisit.
Anytime.
Upwards of 5 times a year.
Anytime.
Yeah, and it's right up there with the drywall.
The fight?
The fight.
Okay.
Boy, I'm trying to figure out what else I would put on our Mount Rushmore of things I'd want to revisit.
The crockpot fight.
The crockpot fight's right up there.
Yeah.
There are some things that will never fail to put a smile on my face, and those are right there.
Okay.
Those are right on the top of that list. Good to know.
So if we're ever short on content.
Yeah, if you ever look at that clock, and you and I are both kind of scratching our facial hair, and you see it says like 22 minutes and 8 seconds,
and we're empty.
Yeah, and you just
the tank is empty.
I want you to just hands in the air. Said, "How about Hope Solo's butthole?" Which again, I think is probably the perfect sequitur for every podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're out there recording your own podcast, you're doing the weekly, the monthly, whatever it is. And I think, didn't we just run those numbers very recently when we Googled them about how long podcasts actually last?
Yeah, yeah. And we had surpassed. We are the exception, not the rule.
Oh, I would say, and no hyperbole, we are probably in the top 2% of podcasts in terms of
episode
continuity.
Right. Yeah. Not quality.
No.
But the sheer amount and schedule of what we refer to this as a podcast.
Yeah, and I would say
we're way up there.
And obviously that comes with some exclusions. If you're doing a podcast by yourself daily where it doesn't take any type of cohesion or planning, that's obviously a little bit different.
Yeah.
But in terms of multiple people getting together to do this, especially in person, because we could count on one hand how many of these we've done apart.
Oh, I bet it was more than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I bet we've done 8 or 10.
You think so?
Yeah.
I know we did, even COVID, you and I, we only did
we did
2 or 3 apart.
We did Deckcast for a while.
Sunroom Cast.
We did Sunroom Cast where we were seated at opposite ends of a room.
Yeah.
We did that for probably 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Until it got to the point where it was 95 degrees.
It was so hot.
In the sunroom. It was like we had gone into a sauna to record. Like we were sweating. Like we had to cut weight for our boxing match the next day.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, there were some. And it was because it was June.
Yeah.
Ish. And so, yeah, it was getting pretty toasty.
That's pretty much the last time that room was used. It's now got a leak in the ceiling, too, that I noticed at the beginning of winter and proceeded to do nothing about it. It's just leaking down onto the couch below. So I said to Annette a couple of weeks ago, I think it's time to throw that old couch up on Marketplace. She said, are you going to try and sell it? No. No. This baby is being given away because it's now filled with water.
This is a come and get it situation.
Yeah. I will take pictures of it where it sits. I'm not even going to help take it out of the sunroom.
Right.
Why would I? Why would I do that?
I did notice now you tell me, because we spent, a lot of people would argue, too much time last week recapping or talking about your the painting and the work you're doing in the house, and then me trying to sell you on going out and buying an 85-inch television last weekend.
Yeah. And
I noticed, so I had a question for you. It doesn't look like maybe everything's done, because this was a rare occasion when I pulled into on the Zach today. And I looked and I saw a shining beacon of mediocre craftsmanship in terms of vehicles staring at me.
Whatever are you talking about?
Staring at me from about 50 yards away as I hung a left.
I hope you didn't get that close to it. I mean, that's a rare vehicle.
Was a 1988 Jeep Comanche with whatever group of letters on the end.
Pioneer,
sorry. Oof, LG? Or is that just the electronics brand?
No, the MJ.
Gotcha, of course.
That's the shortening of the body style.
Couldn't care less if I had to. Just could not care. You could put a gun to my head and say, I'm going to quiz you about Jeeps, and I would just eat the bullet because I would die. I noticed it parked in the driveway, which is a rarity.
Yeah. I wanted to... I think I'm going to be taking it for a spin today, so I had...
Special occasion or...
Sunday.
The Sunday spin.
She's a Sunday driver.
Right. I'm putting it on the poll. Is the Sunday spin standard for all Comanche owners?
I needed to, as you may remember, when it's running, some may say that it gives off a slight aroma.
Mm-hmm. Some unseasoned fools.
Right, some idiots. So I backed it out, let it run for about 10 minutes this morning, to ensure that this planet is not here for much longer. As it spewed fumes into the atmosphere.
A decade from now, I'd like a satellite photo of the ozone above your house.
Over our house.
So you're taking it out.
The ozone's always the same right above you, right?
Yeah, I don't think the ozone moves, right?
The ozone doesn't. Does the ozone rotate?
I mean, for you, you're kind of like a murderer who's covered up his tracks because you've moved so much.
Yeah. So many times.
So you and, the Ford Rangers that polluted back at the first house.
No, you cannot say that. The Rangers, there was never anything wrong with those. I mean, from an emissions standpoint.
Right.
There were plenty wrong with them otherwise. But I'm not going to let you...
We have never fully recapped your vehicle ownership history in terms of those trucks in that area in your life where you had at one time two identical Ford Rangers parked in the driveway.
No. One was 4-wheel drive and one was 2-wheel drive.
Well,
I had my winter vehicle and I had my summer vehicle.
You had to be a real buffoon.
But we're not going to get into that.
Not today.
No.
Not today.
We're very busy.
So I rounded the corner onto the Zach, Steve, and I did see that shining beacon of mediocrity parked in the driveway, which again is a rarity.
Boy, that hurts.
But not just that. Something looked like it was lobbed into the back end. And I thought, oh my God, here we go again. It's probably like Steve found a good deal on 3 extra tires. Not 4, 3.
3.
So now he's got the 3 in the back and he's going to hold out hope to find an identical 4th.
Well, look,
something like that.
I'm sure that about 6 years from now, I'm going to find a match. And then I'll be able to put together a full set. But yeah, this is something I talked about with you weeks ago.
It was mentioned, and I had totally forgotten about it. No offense to you or that discussion. We've covered a lot of ground since then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and also, I didn't know what I was looking at. Even up close, I couldn't have told you what it was.
Yeah, because it was, like you said, just kind of lobbed in the back, kind of.
Yeah, and it's a big,
haphazardly,
kind of ovalish piece of plastic.
Yeah. And
you open the door and let Toby out to say hi, and I kind of asked, what the heck is this?
Mm-hmm. That is the luggage carrier that will be strapping to the top of the car for the big trip to Pigeon Forge in June.
This is the most full dad I could fathom seeing you or anybody I know go full dad.
We're going there for a week, so actually closer to like 8 or 9 days. So we need room for all of this stuff.
So this is the four of you climbing into the Comanche, I'm assuming. And
no, we'll be taking Annette's car, climbing in there.
Just poor Evelyn, having to sit behind a stick shift with 83-degree air blowing from the vent as you all roast.
Yeah.
The radio died somewhere in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
The
radio is probably the newest part of that vehicle.
This is the most full dad I expected to see you go. This is, for my money, the next step is winter cap, stocking cap with ear flaps.
Oh, so I'm basically becoming seasonal Sammy.
Yes, and now you mentioned, I'd like to see you up your turtleneck quotient just a little bit.
Maybe some shirts. You're not a dad unless you have multiple graphic tees with different dad slogans on them.
Oh my God, yeah, and so you're moving away from your FBI federal boob inspector
Right.
shirt phase.
Right now, it's just like, this is my best dad joke with an arrow pointing up to my face or something.
Yeah, something like Notorious DAD parked right on the center.
Right, to show that I'm a dad, but I'm still kind of cool.
You're really cool.
I'm mostly suburbs, but I'm still a little bit urban. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You've got a luggage rack.
I have a I remember we had one of these when we were growing up, when we were kids, and we referred to it as the Big Mac because back in the 80s, they looked like, the cardboard container that a Big Mac comes in, and it's kind of that like,
oh yeah,
like, I don't know, 6-sided, like, it's not just a box, but it's got like the angles and everything. It looked like the box that a Big Mac came in, so we always called it the Big Mac. But yeah, it's a enclosed luggage shell thing. It looks like a turtle shell that you stick on top of your car. Put all your suitcases in there. That way the trip is a little bit more manageable because you're not whoever's sitting in the back seat, in this case it's obviously going to be the kids, there aren't suitcases looming that if you hit the gas or the brakes one time a little bit too hard, they're going to come flying forward and decapitate my children. So yeah, I found it. Of course, a marketplace deal. I was the rare occasion that I was a buyer, not a seller.
Right, but here's the thing with you though. You're not in a pinch. June is not like next weekend.
No.
So I'm a bit surprised, unless you were maybe taken aback by the price of these, that it wasn't as much as you thought.
I was kind of surprised at the price of them.
Cheaper than you thought, or
no, they were like brand new, more expensive than I thought. But I had seen one a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, pick up today, $40, and I was like, oh, that seems like that's a pretty good deal.
Okay.
And by the time I messaged the person, they had said, oh, so sorry, somebody just picked it up. But I didn't really think anything of it. And then, so I started searching around for them, because that one I think Annette had actually found and sent to me. She was like, hey, this might be a good idea for the trip this summer. Yeah, okay, no problem. So by the time I sent them a message, it was gone. So then they just started popping up in my marketplace, algorithm.
You've
or
been
whatever.
algorithmed now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would see them, and every other one I saw was like $300, $200, $400. I was like, damn, that I missed. That would have been seems like a steal.
Yeah.
And I missed it. So I'm obviously off my game a bit these last couple of months.
Right. Embarrassing yourself, looking the fool.
Not proud about this. Not proud about this at all. So then I found one. Somebody they just posted it in the community buy, sell, trade page.
Okay, so one of those garage sale pages
And I thought, oh, well, that seems like a good deal. They had it posted for $300, but it was looked like perfect shape. He said comes with both keys, has all the nuts and bolts and brackets and everything you need to bolt right to your car. Mm-hmm. So, me, I still have to lowball you. So he had it posted for $300.
Would like to clarify. Don't have to.
No, you do.
This is a very personal
but
thing for you. So what was the opening price?
Don't try to act like you don't do the same exact
listen,
thing.
I would argue there's a difference between negotiating and strictly saying, I'm going to lowball the S out of this person. So what was the asking price?
The asking
for this
price
thing?
was $300.
Okay. Here's what I would consider an opening off. Now,
let's see.
You don't have to give it
hear.
away, but if you
fine, I'll tell
would,
you.
what
Okay.
is your comfortable price range that you'd be comfortable paying for this? Listed at $300. What's the dollar amount that you're okay with?
I don't know. For some reason, I see that price, and I always think, like, pfft, I'm not even going to pay half of that.
Oh, for God's sake!
Now, in this case, I did not lowball them that. What would your opening offer be?
Listed $300. See, it's weird for me because without knowing what I would be comfortable paying for something like that.
Right, but just say that you had done the research and you saw that.
Yeah.
It's in the ballpark.
I think I would probably open with $200.
Okay.
I would say something like, and you see those all the time, which is $200 pickup today, $200 cash in hand. I'll be there. I could be there in an hour type of thing. So I would say listed $300 for that. And was it just posted? Was it fresh?
I don't remember.
Because
it may have been posted. I feel like it had been posted like within a day or two.
And you're the pro. So you know that if that thing had said
Appreciate
listed weeks ago or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm offering you $25 and you have to bring it to me. Take it or leave it.
My guess, they're going to leave it. So $300, I would offer $200.
Okay.
You've explicitly said you opened with a low ball.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because I opened with $200.
Hey, now I don't think that's low ball.
Okay.
You're offering 2/3 asking. The odds of them saying yes, let's call it 25-75, right?
That's what I'm thinking because the way that if that's me, if I'm listing something for $300, somebody offers $200, my first response is going to be meet me in the middle. Let's do $250.
Exactly.
Handshake, done. I got a reply back within 10 minutes saying $200 sounds good.
Okay, so now
I think that I
Yes.
overbid.
Now this is
But that's not it. After the message saying $200 sounds good, I got the follow-up saying, big fan of the show, Steve. And I thought, oh, man, now I look like a cheap a-hole.
this is where you say, some signed Van Wert poster for an extra 50 off.
To be clear, I don't think he was talking about this show.
Oh,
Yeah. No.
what else was he talking about?
Little side gig you may have heard of.
What's that?
Yeah, that's right.
So
I feel like now I'm in a weird spot because
I still feel like you show up and you pull, and you may have encountered this. I know I have. I still feel like you show up and pull the Facebook Marketplace scumbag move that everybody does.
walk around it,
I've only got.
kick it a bit. You're like, oh, you didn't post a close up of that scratch there. Again, this thing is in like
Mint condition, right?
It's in perfect shape.
Like just unwrapped from the luggage store.
Well, I mean, yeah, there are scratches here and there, but it's a luggage rack it's going to sit on the top of our car.
Yeah.
For a 700-mile drive.
Yeah, I would
For a week.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing relisted on Facebook Marketplace for $220.
That is
in the end of June.
I'd be lying if I said that hadn't crossed my mind.
Because then you're going to walk around and especially
hate,
around this studio.
I'm going to hate seeing that thing in the garage.
You're going to be peacocking around saying that you got a luggage rack, used it, and made $20 off of it.
There are people that I think I'm going to go the rental route for it. You'd be shocked at when you go onto Marketplace and you search for, I don't know, because I kept having trouble figuring out what they were called, like rooftop luggage carrier.
Yep, that's what I would search.
Roof rack. There are so many on there that people are renting out, saying $50 a week, $70 a week. Is this my next new?
That's not a bad venture.
I think I might do it.
Right, and I think
might
you do
start right now.
And I think you do if you have it and you don't need it until June. You do a weekly rate. Call it again $50.
What keeps people from just saying, "Yeah, whatever"?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And just never bringing it back.
I would argue the rental business idea much more privy to theft than.
I mean, it's not like I'm U-Haul.
Right.
And I'm sure that they have means of doing that kind of thing.
Right, right.
I feel like they probably would have figured out. U-Haul's not this far into the game and still, going by the seat of their pants like, oh,
yeah, I mean,
hope they bring it back.
U-Haul has super in-depth stuff, and then I'm assuming those vehicles are tracked to some degree, whereas unless you just slap the world's most obvious GPS tracker on your luggage carrier, that you're then willing to call police a week later, say, can you come with me to get my luggage carrier?
Right. That also being said, it's just a plastic shell, and it's not like it's not like it's a vehicle where I can tuck a GPS tracker up behind the bumper or something. I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious if there's a little thing sticking to the side of it with a little antenna and a blinking light. What's that? Nothing. That's just
It's the new standard add-on to the luggage rack industry type of thing. I don't know. You might be right. I had not considered that. Theft, a legitimate concern, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I bet that I could go online and find some kind of article, or find some kind of template that I can download that's a binding contract.
Right. Whew. But what's that going to matter? Then they're going to assume that you're willing to pay whatever legal fees or recourse.
Say I do $60 a week. I just got to rent that thing out like 3.5 times, and it's paid for. Then if the fourth person steals it,
I think you rent it out 3 times, and then you sell it. You've made your money back.
Yeah, but at that point, why would I sell it? It's obviously it's a renter's market.
Continue running the racket.
I mean, who knows? This could be the retirement in waiting.
Are you thinking just like,
so I'm just gonna
buy a bundle of these things and stack them up? I mean, you might as well do the same thing with like bike racks and carriers, right?
Like nobody wants to store one of these. You come over.
Yeah.
I'll even bolt the thing to your roof rack.
Mm-hmm.
You take it to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Come back a week later. Pop that thing back off. Pull in the driveway. I'll help you take it back off.
Yeah.
And then the next schmuck in line is going to be just waiting for me to put
I can
right
see
on there
it now. Steve for rent. Right? And so I'm thinking it's just...
I was thinking Steve's roof rack rental.
Oh, personally. No, because we're going to expand. So now we're doing...
We are.
Yeah, I went in. I went on the ground floor of this.
You went in on the ground floor of Steve's roof rack rental.
But I want to expand already.
Okay.
We haven't opened,
so
I want to expand.
So we have a bike rack out in the bike carrier out in the shed.
I've got one. That's 2.
That you're right.
1 and 1 is 2. That's a business. That's 3 items we now have for rent.
All right. So I feel like we need to create an LLC.
Yeah.
This is going to set us back like $100. We're already...
If there's anything you and I know how to do properly, it's to lose money. So I am thrilled to be in this new adventure where we can continue our efforts to lose money.
Yeah.
So we've got a roof luggage carrier, 2 bike racks.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get some type of hitches or balls.
Because a lot of people... I got a couple of them.
Boom.
I think I got it. I mean, your common sizes, of course, is your 1 7/8 and your 2 inch. Got them both.
What other crap do people need for road trips that they don't have?
I would assume some like tie down straps.
Yeah,
I got a few of them.
Yeah, okay,
we'll throw them in.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what. 3 weeks of rental on the bubble top, you get a free ratchet strap thrown in.
Hey,
suckers will never see it coming.
Okay, I love this. I think I want in.
I'm not too sure if I'm willing to. I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. We can franchise this.
Okay. I mean, I don't know where you're getting the very elusive second bike rack. Unless, again, you're willing to go further in the hole on this idea.
Man, is there an episode that goes by that we don't have an amazing idea for a get-rich-quick scheme?
We just haven't executed to the degree that we can and that we should. We could be like 100 airs if we had just put our minds to it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there we are, folks. We may have to look. Hey there, it's Steve from the Steve and Kyle podcast here with my buddy Kyle. Are you in the market for a luggage carrier, but you don't want to deal with that hassle of storing it for the 51 and a half weeks a year that you're not using it?
Got a one-stall garage and 2 vehicles already. Don't muddy up your space with a luggage carrier that you're going to use once every 3 years.
Call us at Steve's Roof Rack Rental and Accessories.
Call us at Steve's for Rent.
Let us help you get your stuff into a bubble. We might have to work on the...
No. And also, in the fine print, we will not actually help you put stuff in the bubble. You pick up the bubble, attach it yourself. For an additional fee, we will help you get the bubble strapped onto your roof.
Okay. All right, I like that. So maybe what we do is rental fee, because I was thinking like $50 a week. So maybe we'll say rental fee, $300 a week, or for this special deal only, $50, and we'll help you strap it down.
Introductory.
Yeah.
This is savvy.
I mean, if you go with the $300, more power to you.
I mean, you know me. I'm gonna give it to you how I think of it, because I told you the second chance Jeep thing was a morbid failure. Lost money, which it made money, but that's not the point.
Some would say the exact opposite of what you predicted.
Yeah, no. Took too long to make money, I think is how I refer to it.
You know, there were no timelines.
But I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking, yeah.
You're in?
Yes. Garbage that people only need.
Okay.
And I'm not even saying every so often, because in terms of these type of vacations, you're going to need that. They're, one, somewhat infrequent, and two, they're on a limited time anyway.
Yeah.
When you end up, when you have your kids that they're 10, 12, 13, 15, the idea of going on a very long road trip with them, to the point where you need a luggage rack, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
They're more talking about going on vacations with their friends and spring break. They're not doing family vacation with the notorious DAD in the front seat. Yes.
Again, mostly suburbs, but also a little bit urban.
I love it. I want to know the ground floor. I want to be part of the founding venture of Steve's Roof Racks and Plus, or whatever we figure out as the new business name. And I will contribute a bike rack.
Okay.
And as a bonus, I would say this is even cheaper.
You got ratchet straps?
Here's what we're going to throw in. And I know you have one, Steve. I think you and we add in, like as a bonus or a promo deal. You sign on for a week of the big plastic bubble. And for an extra $25 a week, we'll throw in one of those Burleys.
Oh, like the stroller pull behind.
Yeah,
thing
because when the kids are too dumb to ride their own bikes.
You got one of them?
I got one of them.
We got one too.
I'm a I'm Bugs Bunny with dollar signs for pupils. We're making money so fast in my own brain right now.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about quitting my job just so I can be at the stand in the driveway as cars are lined up around the Zach the Saturday before spring break, right? Where we have to juice our inventory because it's the big week.
Right. And then but we have to be, we have to be beating the streets. We have to be constantly on Marketplace and Craigslist looking for these deals. Yeah. And that's where the real lowballing comes in.
Oh, no question. I think
you want 400? No, you'll take 20.
Yeah, we load up on crap in the off season, right?
So are we storing this just between our houses?
Yeah, we've got attics. We've got Do
you think we should? Do we start looking at commercial real estate?
Listen. Again, you and I are really good at ideas to make money and then promptly losing money.
We just need to find a tenth of an acre somewhere. We're not even going to put up a building.
Oh, you just want the plot.
We're just going to load it all. Just people will be driving down the street. Oh, there's the new hairstylist. There's the gas station.
Yeah.
There is, a private dump, apparently.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
we
just
need
piles and piles of rooftop carriers and burleys.
So we need 1/10 of an acre, and then how can we purchase one of those pods that those companies rent?
Okay.
We just want to buy, because that's it.
You can buy shipping containers.
That's our business
That's fine.
front.
We will buy. A buddy of mine did this at his house. He's got
Yeah.
a big plot of land. Needed a little extra storage. Bought a shipping container.
We hire Cy, Nolan Ryan Young, to make us a big sign that's, Steve's crap for rent, whatever.
Right.
We
So I like how you don't even want in on the naming rights. You just want to be the
When
silent
this thing
partner.
goes belly up, I do not want to be listed in any of those LLC docs.
Okay. All right.
When you are stuck with 1/10 of an acre, a plastic pod, and 45 luggage carriers in 1 year, I want to
Haven't made $1.
I want to be so far away from this. I'll never be heard from again.
I just keep saying to Annette, like, no, I think that if we have this model bubble top carrier.
Now, this is going to sound crazy, Annette, because we've lost thousands of dollars. But have you considered the idea of us renting out bikes as well?
I got bikes.
And I got bikes. Sizes? All of them. Helmets? Bring your own.
Yeah, BYOH.
Man.
Okay. Well, we're 31 minutes in, but I see no reason to keep going.
Yeah,
this might be the last one.
And this is remarkable, because I said we have so much to get to. We still have mail time. We have to bump mail time because we still have to.
No, we can't bump mail time. I'm excited.
We have to get the polls this week. We have to update Poll Badness.
I know.
I need to ask you about a very super inflammatory text message I received.
You can
from
ask
you
me about that right
morning.
now if you want. That's not going to take long.
I needed
for me
to
call
ask
out
you
those cowards
for any advice for my very first Bruce journey coming up.
Oh, that's right. That's this week, right?
This week.
Okay.
And we have a lot to get to. But I need to ask you then about why I received a text message.
You know
yesterday
something? I
morning.
want to do viewer mail time.
You want to do the mail time?
Yeah.
I'm happy to do mail time.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Yeah. There we go. Third time.
Brings it home.
Look at this. So we have an Amazon Prime envelope
Yep.
from our friend Mitch Mankiewicz.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've nailed that over the years. Mitch Mankiewicz?
I still want to say Mankiewicz.
Mankiewicz?
Yeah.
I think we go with it.
Okay. Mitch Mankiewicz until we hear otherwise.
I can't believe one stamp got through on this, by the way. This
I see.
this next
I see
envelope. Feel that. A little weighty.
No, that feels
That's a one-stamper to you?
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, that don't appreciate the stamp on this one.
I didn't even notice.
Just
What
a
is it?
hot rod.
Oh, yeah. It says USA Forever. I know that's the
stamp
the
thing?
denomination
Yes.
of the stamp, but in the context of the bone shaker
Yeah.
hot rod,
Yeah.
it just looks...
By the way, another thing we have to get to, one of us went to a monster truck show yesterday.
One of us did, yeah.
So we are already way overloaded, and
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about what we have to cut.
Okay,
So
well, let's
get through the
speed
mail.
it up. Okay, we'll finish this up in the next 3 minutes then, okay?
Mail time.
You want me to go first?
Yes, please
All
open
right,
that
so
Amazon Prime package from our friend Mitch Mankiewicz. Mitch, a longtime listener of the show. Big fan.
Inside of an envelope is another envelope.
Okay, well, that's a start.
Seems like a waste.
Sorry, Redwood. Had to bite the bullet on this.
Looks like we got a sticker here.
Yes! Love adding to the sticker wall.
The
Steve.
sticker.
Does it make sense to you?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. That's the best kind. Let's see it.
It is a possum playing a banjo. Did we talk about this?
Oh my god. You could have given me 1 million guesses, right? And I wouldn't have guessed anything like that. The only thing, I had posted on our social medias a screen grab of a news article this week that's something about how possums are good, but that would have been a really quick turnaround for our friend Mitch.
Yeah, I think that showed up yesterday or the day before,
Okay.
so maybe.
Our thanks to...
Thank you, Mitch. This is definitely the first of its kind on the wall. A
What?
possum playing a banjo.
One of one. This next...
How many do you think that company sells? Like, that order came in and they were like, Jesus Christ, people will buy anything.
This next one is a envelope from, just says Ronin Stickers. So I'm guessing, Steve, probably another sticker.
Probably, yeah.
I do not see a note or anything.
Okay.
So
Good.
whoever this
Cut right
is
to
from,
it.
stake your claim and send us a note. And this is gorgeous.
What do we got?
I don't know if this is one or a couple in here, Steve. I see the teeth of a shark. Which,
like
as
it
everybody knows, it's always shark attack season somewhere. It says, "Stay positive," as a young man is stuck in the mouth of a shark. As well as another sticker of a small duck with a bloody knife.
Boy, listeners just knocking it out of the park with these.
This sticker wall is getting a very nice variety today.
Stay
In addition,
positive.
this last envelope, Steve, and by the way, if that came from you, please message us so we know that it's from you.
Absolutely.
This last envelope coming from our friend Doug Hobbs. This one from our
Dougie.
friends in the United States Postal Service. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
In Eastern Maine.
Eastern Maine.
Oh, this one's got a letter, which I always appreciate. Some little notification makes it feel less like this is a hooker operation. A little more personal, so thank you. And there, Steve, I'll let you grab those stickers.
Okay, beautiful.
Hey, buds. We had these made up after cutting my buddy's neighbor's garage in half over a land dispute.
Oh, yes.
Did not know this. You did a segment about it on Free Beer and Hot Wings. That's why I didn't know about it. You can also search Maine Man Cuts Garage in Half. I thought you might like it for the sticker wall. Have a great day, Doug Hobbs.
This was an amazing story where a guy bought a house, Doug bought his house, moved in, and for whatever reason they had to get like a land survey done.
Sure. A lot of that's a lot of times that's mandatory.
Yeah, I don't know if that was simply because, I don't know if they were looking to build something or whatever, but the surveyor came out and they realized that I think it was more than half of his neighbor's garage was on his property. And it wasn't just a little tiny one car. It was a big...
That's a pretty big miss, by the way.
It was a very big... But I think it had been there for years, so maybe it was one of those, like, both of the previous owners were like, yeah, no problem, it's okay. So this was built, or it was noticed, and then Doug went to talk to his neighbor about it, who I don't think they got along very well. And the neighbor just said, yeah, whatever. So Doug and his buddies took it upon themselves to take out reciprocating saws and cut the garage in half, the half that was on his property, and just knocked it down.
I love it. I love the petty nature of it. Well, I guess petty to a degree, because what else are you supposed to do? I mean, it has to go.
It's his.
Yeah, and it has to go. Like, that's the deal. It's on property, so.
Yeah, and I know that legally, even though something is on your property, I don't think you're allowed to just take saws and cut it down.
Probably not.
So I know that he was in some hot water for that for a while, but he had called in to the side gig. He wanted to remain anonymous, and for some reason, he was given the name Taco Smith. So.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, that's the unexpected part?
So we have a couple of stickers here, 3 stickers for Taco Smith Wrecking Crew.
Well, that's gorgeous.
Where the logo is 2 reciprocating saws in the shape of an X.
Boy, I may one of those is going to go on
them on there.
I may throw one of those on the old computer here.
Do it right now.
Actually, I might do that right here, where I type every day. I can look at the Taco Smith Wrecking Crew. Our thanks to Doug. Our thanks to Mitch Mankiewicz. And our thanks to whoever sent the Stay Positive Shark sticker.
Excellent job.
We will update the sticker wall. I always love adding to that. And this thing is looking gorgeous.
It is so nice.
It is absolutely lovely to look at.
Yeah.
So did we want to get to, Steve? Because, again, there's a few things we have to get to. We have to get to Poll Badness Update. And we have to get to, now we have to close the loop on this inflammatory text message to our...
I would love to talk about that.
To our poor friends.
Absolutely love to.
And our poor Our poor friend.
This one...
An end of the driveway warrior who's not on the end of the driveway himself, Josh Reed.
Josh, I'm going to need you to do some investigative research on this because God knows I'm not going to waste my time.
Let me see what... And I apologize for forgetting the full contact. And also, by the way, we have another person just waiting next to their phone for us to call them who has listened to all 350-plus episodes of our podcast. I think
they may be getting the boot this week.
They're getting booted again, okay?
Getting booted again.
I received a text message yesterday at 10:09 Eastern Time, which, by the way, happy Sunday to you, Steve. I don't know if you want to properly welcome in the people of the podcast that we have not done yet. This is Sunday.
I haven't done that in months.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, it shows how much I listen. 10:09 a.m. Eastern. You sent a text message to me, and this was to give the context. Our last communications... Monday at 7:13 p.m., I had sent you a text. Instagram posted the bracket, but never sent it to Facebook, so I had to do it manually. Irritating.
Mm-hmm.
Follow-up to that came Friday morning at 11:37 a.m. from you.
Right, yeah.
We're recording Sunday, right? And I said, correct.
Yep. I wasn't positive if we had set it for this week or next week.
But this is, just to be clear, I'm just laying out the context for where this came from.
Mm-hmm.
The following text came Saturday morning at 10:09 a.m. F*** USPS.
Yeah?
And I just said, what happened? Because I can already tell you, in this war, I've already made my decision.
Sure, yeah.
On whose side
I know that you have your allegiance. I
And
feel
you
like
said-
I feel like I might win you over.
And you just said, a bit.
Right.
Which we then promptly ignored and waited until the very, very lucrative 42-minute mark to get to this. So tell me, what now? And I don't want to say this accusatory, but I feel like you're maybe somebody that in terms of the end of the driveway warriors and their employees, you're maybe just looking for stuff. And maybe you're looking to nitpick.
I don't know about this. I think you're going to be on... I think you're going to be on my side here.
Now, what happened? Can you narrow it down? Was it something
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Or was this P.O. Box related?
Neither. It was at the counter.
Okay, so at the building.
At the counter,
Gotcha.
yeah. So we, of course, as everything, it starts out with Facebook Marketplace. I was selling something.
So you're going to ship crap.
Going to ship out some crap. And this was it was a large item. It was 55 inches long, I think 15 inches tall, and at its thickest part, 4 inches deep.
Heavy, not heavy?
Not heavy. In fact, I put it on my scale upstairs, and
make sure.
It was 11.5 pounds or something.
Because some of their services have weight limits,
They
but
do.
they're usually
They do.
like 75 pounds or something,
They do.
isn't it? Okay.
So I go on to old USPS.com. Where you can...
Because you're prepared.
Because I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Well, this person that was buying it wanted to... Because I had to obviously ship it. They wanted to know how much it was going to cost.
Yeah.
So I had ballparked an estimate based off of the weight. I even weighed the boxes I knew I was going to pack it in. And I always add...
Add a pound or half pound, whatever it is.
I'll add half a pound just so I know that I am 100% good to go. If anything, I'm overestimating on the weight. So...
Better to overshoot rather than end up, you holding a difference in money that you now have to front.
Right. So, going to USPS.com, get an estimate. I put in my zip code where I'm shipping it from. Put in the zip code where it's going to be shipped to. Put in the length, 55. Width, 15. Height, 4 inches.
Now this already, to me, just a total guess, it feels like it's going to be it's an odd thing to ship, just because it is such a... 55 is a pretty long...
Yeah, I mean, it's not...
4.5 feet.
Yeah, honestly, the picture of the Mackinac Bridge over there, that's probably 48. So it's a little bit taller than that. But roughly those exact dimensions, a little bit thicker. So it's not like... I'm not struggling to carry the thing in.
And still, it's only, what'd you say, how many pounds?
11 pounds.
So it's not like
pounds.
it's heavy. Gotcha.
So I put in the length times the width times the height, shipper zip code, receiver zip code, the weight, again, overestimated. And then you click estimate or whatever the button is, enter. It gives you all of the different options. You want it overnight. You want it next day, whatever. Next
and then
day,
they're going to have signature verification. They're going to try to, yes.
Priority, first early morning delivery, all of this crap. No, I just want it's only going to Chicago. So even if it goes ground, it's still going to be there in probably 3 days or so. Mm-hmm. So I just select, I look at it, and it says, I think $32.45. I was like, all right, sounds good. So I had told the woman, I said, it looks like it's going to be about $35. So I built in a couple dollar buffer, like I always try to do.
It's crazy that's just so expensive.
It is.
I understand it's a larger thing, and wherever it's going may depend on that, but still, my goodness.
Yeah. So I package it all up. The woman says, yep, sounds good. She pays me for it. I said, great. I'll get it in the mail for you tomorrow. This is on Friday. Package the whole thing up Saturday morning, and actually managed to make it smaller than I had originally estimated by about an inch on every side. It was about 2 to 3 ounces lighter than what I had estimated.
All things that should be looking to be in your favor.
This is all great. Take it to the old post office. I go in there. They throw it up on the scale, and their scale showed 11 pounds, 6.8 ounces. And I was like, that's fine. Nearly exactly what I got, which is good considering I just basically stood it up on the bathroom scale.
Right.
He measures it out. 55, 15, 4. Exactly what I had. I was like...
At this point, you're in your own head. You're like, no big deal. Nailed it. I can measure and weigh.
I can do this job easily. Pretty simple.
There's one thing.
So he does the whole thing. Does this contain any battery acid or bombs? No.
Oh, you're never going to believe this. I forgot the pipe bomb. Left it right in there.
So I'm looking at the little screen in front of me, and it pops up, and he goes, okay. And I just said, slowest and cheapest. No rush on this at all.
Yep.
He said, all right, yeah, it looks like it's $61.42. And I was like, what?
I'm a bit irritated on your behalf.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Because I would... Now, it's not like you're printing out what you saw online, but I'm guessing you're apt enough. You could pull up pretty quick the service and stuff you had looked at to price out on your phone and say, this says 35.
Yeah. So he said, oh, really? Huh. And I was like, what did you have for the dimensions? And he came back to me. Same thing I had. I was like, what? The weight? He said, I can do it all again. Mm-hmm. And I said, all right. Does it all again. And it gets it down to $51 this time.
By the way, it should not happen that way.
No.
It should not be different whatsoever from time 1 to 10.
Nope.
Not enough time has lapsed that, Postmaster General has come out and said rates are going up
right
this second.
If anything, maybe the weight is different by a fraction of an ounce or something because it was leaning on something or whatever. But I mean, the dimensions are the same. And he goes, oh, it's showing $51. And I was like,
sorry, sir, because now you're in for, now we're going to make this right. If I'm you, I'm pulling that thing up on my phone.
So he says, well, there are surcharges for, a length over, I think it's over 30 inches. And I was like, yeah, no, I get that. Yep. But I went online and I entered all of those parameters. So it's not like the website didn't know what the length was. So why did it not tell me then? Mm-hmm. If that's what it costs, then that's what it costs. And I'm fine with that. But you need to be able to tell me that in advance. Like when I go to your website and it says calculate a price or estimate or whatever it is, that's the reason I'm there, is because I want to know how much it's going to cost me. Because I had done that with UPS and it was within a couple bucks of USPS. But to go to the UPS store, it's much more of a hike. It's kind of, I'm never in that area, the closest one. But I would have just gone there. But at this point, I'm like, whatever, I'm here. Just do it. So $17, $18 out of my pocket. Hey, who cares? It's just money, right?
Man,
I'm not in the wrong here, right?
No, I'm shocked you simply accepted this.
Yeah.
Because
I was close.
Here's why I'm a little bit...
I was on my way somewhere. I needed to get that thing shipped out yesterday. I wouldn't have had time to go to UPS or FedEx. I avoid FedEx at all costs. I will not use them.
Yeah, and as we talked about, you have to climb a couple of mountains and cross some rivers on a ford to get to the nearest DHL location. So
I don't even know. Can I just walk in there, or do you have to have like a special...
Could you tell me where there is a DHL?
Good point.
I don't think they actually exist. I think they've just got yellow trucks and vans flying out there to make us think that they're legitimate. Here's where I'm a little bit surprised at you handling it this way. One, I thought for sure you'd have taken that thing home.
Boy, I wanted
to.
to.
I'm shocked you're not doing USPS pickup, where you print your own label, tape it on there, and then you can you go on the website and choose the pickup and
again,
it's on the porch.
I've done that before, but again, I really wanted to get this thing out yesterday. I told the woman I will have it on its way to you. There just wasn't enough. The couple of times that we've done the porch pickup, we've scheduled it, and it's taken like 2 or 3 days before they actually pick it up.
Okay.
So I could have done that, but it was also easy enough for me. I was basically in the area of the post office. It wasn't like it was a huge trip to go there.
I'm shocked you simply took. I'm stunned. Actually,
I've been over
that you took the rate.
Yeah.
And said, "This is it. I'm sorry. I'm going to pay it."
I'm not
and
proud
you
of
moved
it.
on. Now, did you pass that fee along to said buyer?
She'd already paid
the dollar amount you agreed on.
She had already paid, so I can't go back and say, it turns out it was more. But I mean, of course, like me, I build in a 40 to 50% buffer on all my prices.
Someone in this transaction, I'll say this: you weren't the only one getting ripped off.
Yeah, I just made a little less profit.
Right. Because if it came out to you not making as much profit,
it's just not an option.
It's not in the cards. I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a letter from the Postmaster and maybe our friend Josh Reed, who also works for them.
Explain that to me, Josh. Explain it to me. Because I did everything right. I did my part. Mm-hmm. I dare you to tell me what I did wrong.
And maybe this would have ended up with you printing it off your computer or whatever, slapping it and having them pick it up off your porch, and then you getting a message in 5 days from the buyer saying, hey, they charged me an additional $17 to pick it up. What's the deal?
Sucks. Smell you later.
Block.
Delete marketplace post.
Report for spam.
Harassment. Say they sent me sexual content. And move on. That's what you do.
Really torch that bridge. But make sure your integrity is upheld in this whole situation.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I can't fault you.
What did I do?
And obviously I wasn't there.
What the hell did I do wrong? I'm trying to find...
leaving. The most shocking part of that story is not you being ripped off by a government entity. It's you leaving.
Yeah, because I know that I know walking into the USPS or any other government place.
Yeah.
It's me against them.
Yeah, and plan on you losing. Like, that's just the way this goes.
I'm not winning this.
The market is not set for you to come out ahead in this.
Okay, hold on. I'm actually going to do this all again right now.
Okay, so you're going to run this price.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe the rates went up at... what time did I send that text?
It was 10:09 yesterday.
Okay, so maybe the rates went up effective 10 a.m.
Yeah, we may have missed it. While you're doing all this information, did want to mention again, before we update the Poll Badness 2023 bracket here in a few moments, all of those will be posted as well as an updated bracket that should be posted online right now, actually. As Steve mentioned, if you're listening to this podcast, as it's released in about 5 minutes, those polls will be starting to go. on to all of our social media at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can vote for those as they go up. We are down to the excessive 8. Again, we'll get to that bracket update here momentarily as we really fulfill Steve's vendetta that he can.
All right. I will drag this up onto the Tron so you can see this.
This is with all those dimensions you already mentioned, so no need in rehashing them. It's long, skinny, and light.
See? Large package, weight 11 pounds, 8 ounces. I even overestimated from
here to there,
Michigan to Riverside, Illinois. So, of course, you look at this and...
zoom it out to get the cheapest, right?
Very, very expensive if I'm going to go priority express.
You can get it there in 2 days.
But look, scroll down. USPS retail ground. Normal delivery time, Saturday, April 1st. All right, so it would take a little bit longer. $32.45. See, now that wouldn't have been available if I wanted to do the click and ship.
Just because of the
I'm assuming
shape,
because
maybe?
because of the weight. I don't know. So it's weird, right? Like there's nothing on here where there's a star that says will be subject to surcharges.
The whims of some employee.
Right. So
did you show him this screen at all? Or?
I didn't. There was somebody behind me and I wasn't going to be that guy.
See, that's your thing. You should have really brought it home with, okay, set the package down. So anyway, everybody behind you in line knows, well, I'm here for the long haul now.
But I mean, $32.45. Why did I pay $51 after you first told me I'd be paying $61?
I'm going to tell you, though. You paid it, and the end of the Driveway Warriors come out ahead.
Yeah. They won. They won that.
They absolutely won.
They really won.
You look the fool. And I hope feel the fool.
I do. Do you think they could send me a gift card or something? For
Josh, if you could do that, we'd really appreciate maybe a handwritten...
I want an $18 gift card from the General Postmaster.
Yeah, and I don't know who that is anymore. Is it still Louis DeJoy, I think? Sorry, I've lapsed on my Postmaster General timeline.
Ugh.
But yes, we would appreciate a handwritten letter or apology for Steve's $18.
I can't wait. I want to send Josh this episode 2 days early just so I can
maybe
get a
just
response.
clip this audio.
Yeah. Ugh.
But has there ever been a benefit to having somebody who works at the post office?
No.
It just doesn't exist,
None.
right?
Yeah. Like if Josh was in there, if Josh was behind the desk when I walked in there and he said, what are you shipping? And I would have said, books. So that way I can
Media mail.
Media mail. Why is it so cheap to ship books?
And not just that, the idea that you would come in with a 55-inch long book.
But if I were to take that package and then go into my daughter's room and grab one of her little Pete the Cat books and drop it in there, technically, is that media mail?
Yeah.
Is there like a certain percentage that has to be?
So I know I'm more familiar with media mail than I should be, just based on shipping comic books over the years. Mm-hmm. And I know you can.
Can you ship them media mail?
No, not supposed to. But most everybody used to. Anything with an advertisement in it, you cannot.
All right, so Pete the Cat doesn't have an advertisement in it.
No, but that's a legitimate media mail. DVD, things like that. Those are all media mail. Those are acceptable, Steve. Huh. Well, my apologies for your loss. I'm very sorry.
I'm happy that you're on my side for this one.
Obviously, I wasn't there, but yeah, the details you've provided.
I got the receipt upstairs. I kept the receipts.
Seemed like you've been scammed by this schlub working at the office.
It was a new guy too. Didn't appreciate
something
his
smells fishy.
Yeah, seems like somebody may be skimming off the top over there at USPS.
Yeah, you walk out the door, you look back, and he's folding up $18 and putting it into his back pocket,
twirling his mustache.
Another idiot with a long box.
These long box fools.
Yeah, I make an extra 100 a day off these morons.
All right, Josh. Well,
we await.
The lines are open, so I look forward to the rebuttal.
Yes. Always forget it's the sped up version.
If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to
Desire.
It's time for the Senseless 16 matchup. Steve, they were in full force this week. Thanks to everybody who voted. Continues to vote and spread the word on all of our social media at Steve and Kyle. It's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are starting, still in the patently absurd division, the number 8 seed, which again, the Cinderella story of the tournament. Upset the number 1 seed last week in the 32. Does 4-H stand for Horsery, Houses, Horticulture, and Ham, which was, again, an upset. That moved on to the Senseless 16 to take on the number 5 seed. Or, I'm sorry, what moved on is Chainsaw Steve, the ultimate nemesis of Earthman. That moved on to the Senseless 16 to take on the number 5 seed. Do you want to wake up on a Saturday morning blowing rust-colored boogers? And Steve, this is insane. The slipper still fits.
Oh,
the number 8 seed is moving on to the excessive 8. 66% of the audience voted for his Chainsaw Steve, the ultimate nemesis of Earthman. That's taking on the number 2 seed versus the number 6 seed in the patently absurd division. The number 2 seed, does the whoopee cushion lead off fart hour, or does it belong in dick hour so nobody sees it coming? Taking on the number 6 seed is Steve's murder jeep tinted with the blood of the innocent.
Boy.
And this, an absolute steamrolling,
really?
Steve. And with this result, we are guaranteed a Steve in the fight in the Foolish Four. Another upset is Steve's murder jeep tinted with the blood of the innocent with 74% of the vote, moving on to the excessive 8.
I mean, I guess at this point I should embrace it.
Yeah. Well, Chainsaw Steve would be less offensive on a plaque than Steve's murder jeep.
Okay.
So in the excessive 8, in the patently absurd division, again, a number 8 seed and a number 6 seed. Moving over to the What the division.
Yep.
The number 1 seed is the only way to fix your Billy Rubens by correcting your Jimmy Patty melts. Taking on the number 5 seed is if your name is Jack and you run an Acme, are you dead? And that one seemed to really hit a lot of people the right way in the throaty too.
Right in the feels.
But its run ends here in the Senseless 16.
Oh, no.
Is the only way to fix your Billy Rubens by collecting your Jimmy Patty melts. Moves on with 59% of the vote. Moving on to the excessive 8. That'll be taking on the winner of the number 6 versus number 2 matchup. The number 2 seed, do you have to knock on the casket to ask permission to use the family name? Taking on the number 6 seed, is Kyle just a bag of used parts? God damn it. 89% of the audience. Is Kyle just a bag of used parts? Moves the number 6 seed.
We could be going head-to-head at some point in the...
that side. So,
this is exciting.
Steve will be moving to the Foolish Four.
Yeah.
And now a number 1 seed, the Billy Rubens is taking on his Kyle a bag of used parts. Is also one of those will be moving to the Foolish Four. And we are, I got both of those. That's right. Moving over to the Asinine division. In the Senseless 16 matchups, the number 1 seed only pulls by Zunes. Taking on, should Steve make the union workers refer to him as Big Bacon Steve or Papa Benjamin?
Those are 2 good ones. I think that the Poles and Zunes...
I thought that was a runaway.
That's got to be.
Another upset and another number 1 seed goes down. 65% of the audience saying, should Steve make the union workers refer to him as Big Bacon Steve or Papa Benjamin's? Moving on to the excessive 8.
Okay.
The bottom half of that bracket, the number 3 seed, would John Lennon still be alive if there were CDs? Taking on the number 2 seed is Captain Hatchet, the crazed fire captain with a hook for a hand and umbrella for a foot, a good horror icon. The number 2 seed, a bit of a runaway, 77% of the audience voting for Captain Hatchet, moving on to the excessive 8.
How about
so,
that?
Steve, you are up to, of the final 8, we're only through 6. You account for half. And honestly, right. Captain Hatchet is your creation. You kind of account for 4 out of these final 6. Yeah. And lastly, we're in the Are They Serious division, the Senseless 16 matchups. Number 1 seed, does Dickhead, the owner of Dickhead Appliances, flick his cigarette at a baby? Taking on the number 5 seed. Do you always pick A, B, and blue off the brothel menu? And this is the steamrolling of the weekend. I thought Kyle being a bag of used parts was going to be the overall winner. No. 91% of the vote, Steve. Dickhead, the owner of Dickhead Appliances, moving on to the excessive 8. And this thing is, as it stands, showing no signs of stopping. This thing is absolutely running away with these matchups. That'll be taking on the winner of the number 3 versus number 7 matchup. Is standard Tex-Mex time, 6 to 8 p.m.
Yep.
Taking on the number 7 seed. Should Evelyn seek emancipation after getting a coaster as a gift from Steve? Another Steve-centric vote. With 81% of the vote,
Jesus.
Steve, you are accounting for half of the excessive 8. Should Evelyn seek emancipation after getting a coaster as a gift from Steve? Moving on to the excessive 8. So we have one number 1 seed remaining. Does Dickhead, the owner of Dickhead Appliances, flick his cigarette at a baby? Taking on the number 7 seed. Should Evelyn seek emancipation after receiving a coaster? We've got a number 4 seed, a number 2 seed. We've got a number... Oh, I'm sorry. There is 2 number 1 seeds. Billy Rubin's needing to correct your Jimmy Patty Mouth's also moving on.
Yeah.
We got a 4, a 2, a 1, a 6, a 7, and an 8. This is either the worst seating job known to man in the decision den in the Planing Pagoda, or the most crazy tournament known to man. And I choose to believe the latter, as if you've been following any basketball, this is the first Elite 8 with no number 1 seed advancing in the basketball tournament, Steve, since seeding began in the 70s. So it's a bit of a wonky year in poll badness, a bit of a wonky year in the March Madness basketball tournament as well. All of these polls, again, right on our social media at Steve and Kyle. Those will be up right now, starting to go up. If you want to vote, please get those in. Moving on to the Foolish 4.
Yeah. Well,
it's almost a guarantee that you are going to be in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be...
So
it would be very difficult for me to not be.
You're going to have, at minimum, 1 in the Foolish 4, because it has to go that way.
Right.
I have a 1. I have to go up against the Billy Rubins to make the final, the Foolish 4. Should see there's a chance that you don't make the championship. It's just not a very high probability.
it's
You're
pretty
accounting
low.
for half of the remaining entries in this tournament. Happy to pick these out of the lot every year. Thrilled to be here.
That's great. Big thanks to, Taco Smith for sending the Taco Smith Wrecking Crew stickers. You already have that.
Not on there yet.
No, not on there yet.
Our friend Doug, thank you so much for those. Our thanks to Mitch Mankiewicz for the sticker, and whoever sent the shark one. Please identify yourself, the address and the P.O. box to ship those to, right in the description of this show, wherever you're listening to this podcast.
I do love this sticker of a possum playing banjo. I mean, that's great.
That's really nice.
It's really, really nice. Again, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to vote on those polls, we would be happy to count those.
Yes, I look forward to wrapping this up and seeing this get down to another champion. A lot of upsets so far. Boy.
Yeah, but we got to get out of here. We got Marketplace to scour for some roof bubble.
Yeah, we got to buy some luggage carriers and bike racks and burleys, and then we just got to figure out where to store all this crap.
Again, we're also in the market for roughly 1/10 of 1 acre.
That's right. The smallest you can possibly fathom.
But it's got to be centrally located between our 2 houses.
That's right.
So if you happen to live in that very, very small footprint, let us know.
Wait, we got an offer for you.
Talk to you next week.